Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with David Aston. Hello, David.
Welcome to the Real David Aston cast.
Right.
So, Joe,
Yes.
spill the beans. What's going on with the Real Whovians? You heard it second or third? First?
Well, the thing is that the way we've been talking, the way Chibnall is guarded with all the information in Doctor Who, he makes it where we really don't have anything throughout the year. We went through this last year, when we got through it, but he doesn't, like, the magazines are starving, the sites are starving. He's not giving them any information about villains. And it's going to be really hard to do a Real Whovians cast based on having a clip of a new T-shirt or something like that. And I see your finger. That's right in front of the camera. That's enough. Move your finger there.
It's the latest enemy of the Doctor, the
right.
big finger.
So, yeah, I was just talking to, like, Hayden and different things, and I made, like, a funny video, and I said, like, we've went through this
basically, Chibs has an embargo, just like they have on. Oh, it's interesting you should mention this, because I'm not sure who it was, but somebody was showing in a YouTube video. They were showing all the sort of security for the script for, I think, a Marvel film, and it's it's Mark Hamill for episode 9 of Star Wars.
Right.
And they absolutely control everything, every single bloody thing of the script. The script security is ultra serious, almost like they're protecting their national security, like the FBI or CIA or something. So go on.
See, I would definitely, if I was part of something like that, I would make fun of it in videos. They're like, what can you tell us about Star Wars Episode 9? I'd be like, J.J. Abrams had a bagel at 8:30. I'd be like, I screwed around. Like, I saw him do this. It's like, they're going to pick it on him. Like, it's blowing him. I saw what he did. Like, I would just mess around with them and poke fun at it. But Chibnall, it's all him. It's not the BBC. He is destroying these Facebook pages, these websites, the people that require info for work to post stuff that they use this as a job. We do it for fun, but he's destroying all these people's livelihoods that are trying to promote the show. He's not giving them any info. He's not even bending for the fans. He's not giving anything back to the show. And it's
on the one hand, I get what you say, but on the one hand, he needs to give people info because that's free publicity. But on the other hand, if you give away too much, you ruin.
True, but he's going to be single-handedly responsible for a big portion of why Doctor Who magazine gets canceled, because you can't have a magazine that promotes that they're going to have spoilers and there's nothing to spoil.
Doctor Who magazine is getting cancelled.
I didn't say it's getting canceled. I'm saying it could very well get canceled. Yeah. Because from what I heard, the sales figures are in the toilet. But
I think it does actually prove that being monthly as opposed to 24/7 is more beneficial, because the problem is 24/7, something reported fresh. Once it's reported, second, third, fourth, fifth, on and on, it doesn't have any meaning anymore, does it really?
Right.
I mean, it will still be important to somebody, but if you've watched it, it's like the old expression with movies, diminishing returns.
Right. I mean, it's just a thing where Chris Chibnall has to release stuff for this product. You have to build your product, and if you're not building your product, you're going to make it shatter, and it's going to go away. And now the Doctor is off the air for a year. You need to do whatever you can to promote the product. Give them the okay to make action figures. Give them okay to spoil a little bit of Series 12, so that way you keep the dream alive. You keep the show alive. And
I thought we were getting a series in 2019.
we're only getting the New Year special, which was the plan because they
Yeah.
knew
Oh, don't tell me. They classified that as
they knew that for a long time. We've reported that way before anybody else,
Yeah.
but we don't get the credit for it.
Yeah,
But
they can classify that as new product of 2019, even though technically it's just one bloody episode.
and you know what? I don't like to be right when it concerns Doctor Who having less stuff out there, but we are right. We were right, and people don't want to admit that. But
Why are they doing that? That's detrimental to it. That's
I don't know.
not going to help a doctor, is it?
No, unless they want it canceled, which that is something that's been going around that maybe they secretly want it canceled. They want to be done with it. It's not about the financial money that they're making. It's about their embarrassment.
What about the ratings though, Joe? Because I heard from so-called female fans and others that it's been a huge fucking success, even though it's actually declining.
Well, that's the contradictory, honestly, because we're getting on one hand, they're saying the ratings are great, and then on the stuff that I'm getting for America, that the ratings are dropping here for it. So I really have to spend some time to sift through the garbage because I think it's all an illusion. I really don't think that it's doing as well as they make it out to be. And I think they're just smoke screening, or they're doing something that's trying to, while it may be correct in certain categories, not correct overall.
It's like that. It's like Chemical Alley. The bloke who was on camera during the Gulf War or something, he's saying, "Oh, we're doing well against the Allies." In the background, as he's talking, there's Allied tanks coming over the horizon.
Yeah, bullshit. There's a lot of bullshitting going on, and I think that overall we're going to find out that the season was not as well in the ratings as they made it out to be. Something's going to happen. Oh, there was an error. Oh, there was this. And then you're going to see all the stuff that this cover up or something. I really
I am willing to do a video if you want to, based on my impression of the first 4 episodes I've seen so far, up to the Arachnid to the UK.
You should bring back the Doctor radio show.
Well, I'll do a video with you, actually.
Well, you already have given me your opinion about them.
No, I'm going to give you my opinion of her portrayal of the Doctor and the impact so far.
Okay.
In a way that is neither, biased or negative, just, for or against, just simply, first impressions from, just a viewer who hasn't seen the next fucking 7 episodes.
Right. Okay.
I'm really behind. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm glad I am, really. But, yeah.
So. All right. What else? He's talking to himself. Ah!
Yeah. Well, if you want to start up a new one or do it now.
You can do it right here. Let's go.
I've seen the first 4 episodes, ladies and gentlemen, which is, the first episode.
The woman who fell to Earth.
The woman who fell to Earth up to the spiders episode, which is, I don't think it's as bad as they made it out to be. It just referenced Donald Trump, and it is a sort of analogy, and on Donald Trump, but it's not. I didn't think it was overly political, personally.
Right.
I can expand upon this on a video of my own, but I'll be honest, she's not bad. It's not dreadful by any means.
Right.
It's not. But I'm saying this whether her fans like it or not. I'm not saying this to put down feminists or to support, men's activists or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think she's. I think it's refreshing,
Right.
But I don't really think they've been taking the fact that she's female and actually utilising it perfectly. And I'll be honest, her portrayal, it's underwhelming, to be terribly honest.
Right.
It's not dreadful, but I I feel the best comparison, I've probably mentioned this before, with her first season was the same as Sylvester McCoy's, who was my, I watched her, I mean, not her, I mean, his his entire 3 seasons,
Right.
and that was the Doctor that I watched the, 5 and 6, I can't remember 4. My brother saw, Tom Baker regenerate, but I only saw, the 5 Doctors and a, vague memory of the 6th Doctor walking through the fun factory and, the end of Trial of the Time Lord and all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched, Sylvester McCoy's 3 seasons. I recorded it. It started off me recording it for my late dad, And I'll be honest, just like that first season, before they, did something interesting with the 7th Doctor, I think that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor's in the same position.
Right.
It's just, it's not bad, but it's not really engaging. It's underwhelming.
Okay.
It's got no edges to her Doctor. And it just feels sometimes like she's going through the motions, to be terribly honest.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what do you
You
rate
know,
her?
it's like she's doing a good job and she's trying to put a stamp on it, but I don't feel that they. Well, I heard from someone, perhaps yourself, that they'd actually written the script of a male Doctor.
Yeah.
So, and yes, that is common. The first season of any Doctor isn't usually written for the actor because they naturally haven't put their stamp on the character yet.
Right.
But I, I think it's kind of. I don't really feel that was very fair to Jodie Whittaker to write it for a male Doctor when they hadn't even cast the Doctor yet.
Right.
And you have to add the fact that Chibnall is, apparently not wanting to do it in the first place. It just feels like they're just sort of, "Ooh, let's get our contract out of the way, let's get this job out of the way,
Yeah.
Like somebody's behind a desk and just, doing the job and looking constantly at the clock in the office. How close it gets to, when they can clock out, sort of thing.
Right.
Which is a shame, really, because I think with a little bit more personality, a little bit more depth, maybe. It's the same problem that the 5th Doctor, ironically, because they've modelled her Doctor, especially costume, and well, he was the first young Doctor. She's the first female Doctor. So there's a lot of comparisons with, Peter Davison.
Right.
The father-in-law of the 10th Doctor, ironically.
Yes.
And of course, the father of, the one with the big jokes. I noticed the important things. um, yeah, it's the same problem, really. I mean, the 5th Doctor was great during his first season, then he went incredibly bland during season 20.
Hmm.
And I think that's a problem with Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. They're so busy saying, "Oh, how amazing she is," before she's proved herself, which
Right.
is a detriment to anything. That will create a sort of unfair bias against and for her.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us where they could have improved with the episodes, if you could, like what you would do as a writer if you were doing.
Well, to be fair, I've only seen 4 episodes, so
That's what
the
I'm
next
saying. Like, I mean, the
few
4 episodes. What you would have done to make it better?
Hmm. Well, I love the TARDIS. I think that's a beautiful piece of design that really has some atmosphere. And I love the fact that it's breaking away from, the last few seasons that were not exactly samey, particularly, but it did feel like they were just, sticking with they were playing it safe in some ways. So I
Right.
like the fact that they're. I mean, everything's totally new, and it wouldn't be the first time that they've changed everything to refresh the series. I mean, the whole series, like I've said before, for many years, the one recurring theme on every single level of Doctor Who, unlike any TV show, is change and renewal.
Yeah.
Let's get this straight. Anybody expects Doctor Who to stay the same forever
Right.
is sorely disappointed.
That's true.
But if I would have made her Doctor have not be so goddamn, happy-go-lucky or friendly, if you like. I would have borrowed a little bit of Capaldi and what they. Well, everybody knows. Anyone knows the history of Doctor Who will know that with Capaldi they were trying to do the Sixth Doctor in some respects right. So if they had a little bit of grit, made her a little bit more, just like the Ninth Doctor could be sometimes.
Right.
It's a new morality. Get used to it or ship out type thing. Yeah.
Would you raise the threat level?
Pardon?
Would you raise her threat level, meaning that the big bad of each episode, would you make it more serious, more that the companions are in trouble, more to lose?
Yes, you mean sort of make the opponent more sort of difficult and more of a challenge, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's a very good point, actually, Joe. Here's the thing. In order to make a character, Rennie, have impact, you have to, if they're a good guy, like Columbo. The early episodes of Columbo, the villains, they showed the murder being, the great thing about Columbo, they broke the mold. They showed the murder being committed, and then it wasn't the case of who done it, but rather can he prove they did it. And the thing, and before Columbo became a bumbling caricature, you had a villain, a murderer who was actually a difficult person to actually prove that you did it. He or she was tough. Therefore, that made the job for Columbo more of a challenge, which meant the final victory, if you like, was more rewarding for the audience.
Yeah.
So essentially, the same thing should have been done for Jodie Whittaker. And that would have been a good way, a perfect way to really, really cement the Doctor, this new Doctor's character with the audience. Because it's all about an impression. Episode 4, she's saying, "Oh, I'm still getting used to this regeneration." And I'm like, what? Sorry, but even the Sixth Doctor didn't take that fucking long.
Right.
Yeah, you had to sit through the twin dilemma, but it didn't take 4 episodes. We didn't have 4 episodes of amnesia.
Right. Yes, a little bit longer this time with her.
And it wasn't exactly amnesia or anything, but I loved the spiders. I like the characters. I like the fact that they give Bradley Walsh's a chance to do acting, which he's good at.
Right.
So in episode 4, you have him seeing his deceased wife, and that's some gritty thing for him to act through. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether they're a little bit too self-conscious, or the challenge of this, the Doctor being female for the first time is too much, or
right.
It just doesn't feel.
I mean,
like there's as much impact, because Capaldi eventually, despite them fucking him about character-wise, did actually cement himself
Right.
eventually.
So, like, the
Let's
first
get this
episode you
straight.
liked.
Jodie Whittaker is no Capaldi.
Right. First episode you really liked, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I thought it was good. It wasn't crap. It wasn't a
It was
letdown.
there.
It made effort to create something totally fresh. It was very much like Dylan Bauer.
Right.
Everything changed, and they just got on with it.
Right. What about the second episode, Ghost Monuments?
The second episode.
That dropped off of me because I don't like that.
Which one was that
With
again?
the
I
sand,
forgot.
and they had to find the TARDIS, and it was like they had the handkerchief monster, and
I feel they
robots.
wasted the bloke in the tent.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the ending. I loved the reveal of the TARDIS and that wonderful moment when just in just a few minutes they sum up the connection of the TARDIS in terms of relationship, just like they did in the Doctor's wife. At the end of that story, they did the same thing with the Doctor and the TARDIS. The connection.
TARDIS gave her a
Between.
biscuit.
Yeah. The TARDIS is incredibly important to the Doctor. They're constant companions since
Right.
the very beginning. Companions and producers and actors come and go, but the exterior and the interior changes endlessly. But
Right.
the companion, the family essence of the lost little boy or girl and the TARDIS. The TARDIS is like a companion and a mother, if you like, to the Doctor.
Right. Okay.
And I thought that's a beautifully acted and written.
What about the
Minutes.
Rosa Parks episode?
Well, first off, Rosa Parks did not sit down in the front by accident. She did an interview more than once, pointing out that it was actually part of a. This is what Monk and Magnesia pointed out, and I actually checked it, and it's correct. Historically, it was actually part of a protest. Doesn't change the end result, obviously. I have to admit, beautiful set piece in terms of recreating the period.
Right.
I think that was incredibly effective. It's a great lesson for anybody of any era, and it should continue to be studied by people in the future.
Okay. What about the arachnids of the UK?
Fantastic spiders. I like the Jerry Orbach from Law and Order was a nice thing to see. Thank God they didn't do, like they tried to do with Martha's family, introducing another, Rose Tyler family.
Right.
They weren't really necessary to the plot, to be terribly honest.
Right.
I thought the special effects for the spiders were absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Scary as
I really
shit.
liked that episode a lot.
I mean, that had a proper Doctor Who scare factor. I was disappointed that it wasn't connected to Planet of the Spiders, but actually, think about it. The spiders were created by a similar thing to the ones in that episode. In Planet of the Spiders, the same thing happened when they landed. The spiders mutated, influenced by some, pollution or whatever. And the same thing with this. Really, it's a cross between Planet of the Spiders and the Green Death. People messing around with something they don't understand and having a. But it was nice that these spiders weren't just monsters; they were essentially victims of circumstances out of their control.
Right. Okay. There you have it. David Aston's block of 4, which I can't wait to do 4 more, and then 4 more. Well, be 3 more then.
And Revolution.
Yeah, we're gonna have that review.
So, is it actually going to feature the Daleks, or is it?
I don't know.
Double bluff.
Might be a bluff. I don't know.
So
Don't know.
expect to see the Daleks pulling crackers.
I expect to see a Dalek, but we may not see a Dalek. I don't know. Chibnall's very. It's tight. We can't tell. I'm hearing it is, but.
Oh, it's interesting actually. I just remembered something. I didn't actually read the article, but there was actually an article online right now. There's an article online right now that with the headline Daleks to get a new design.
Yeah, we heard that if they appear, they can have a new design, and then I also feared that.
No need. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. They made the mistake with the Cybermen and the Silurians. No, the Silurians. Yes, the Silurians.
Yeah.
And the Daleks is a beauty. Well, the great thing about the Daleks, they altered it slightly, but it was a very minor update. With the others, they changed it to an extent that really wasn't needed. The Cybermen originally turned out to be. This is how I see them. You know, when they returned with David Tennant, they just look like iPods and legs.
Right.
And with the Silurians, it just looked like some cut price, 90s Star Trek costume.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, David Aston.
You're welcome. Thank you, viewers.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye for now.